Hello, hello. Hello, beautiful soul. Thank you for being here. Thank you for arriving. Thank you for following the call. I am Neimonu, and I am a vessel for the goddess, for the divine, an astrologer, a yoga teacher, and I'm doing something a little different this full moon in Capricorn, which is bringing through more of my gifts as a channel. And this is a message for you from the divine, from the goodness of the universe, to help you, to heal you, to support you and empower you for this full moon in Capricorn. The feminine is rising, and we have to adjust accordingly, or else we will experience exhaustion, burnout, fatigue. As the feminine rises, as the feminine returns, we need to remember ways of making, creating, manifesting that are flowy and intuitive, connected to our emotions, and move away from ways of creating that center, grinding, hustling, forcing, pushing, struggling. Those are obsolete ways of manifestation. And if you continue to engage that energy of force, push, struggle, crush it, you will likely experience, and you may notice this in the people around you, experience extreme burnout and exhaustion, because the changes taking place on our planet are so rapid right now. We need to be a bit more efficient. And the feminine way of manifestation, the way of manifestation which centers the divine, which centers feeling and joy and pleasure, is more efficient. It's more efficient, but it's different. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how to make that shift from a kind of more forceful, pushing, ego-based way of manifestation into a more divinely aligned, expansive, open way of manifestation. I've worked with both, I've done both, and the transition can be very difficult. So I want to speak to that. For a very long time, and I was raised in a family that was all about success, status, force your way, work harder, work twice as hard, be the best. That's what I grew up with. We were a sports family, we were an academic family, and everything had to be the best, always better than everyone else. And there was a lot of success kind of over everything. There wasn't any talk about feelings or emotions or even bodies. Even as like a young tennis athlete, we weren't really talking about bodies. We weren't talking about rest. It was just go, you know? The goal was always very specific, and the goal was always to be the very best. So I grew up with a very kind of forceful, demanding way of manifestation. I set a goal, and I worked myself to the bone to make it happen. And I was really good at this. I was able to get scholarships to really elite schools. I was able to get a full ride to Harvard. I didn't pay a dime for my college education. And that was really because this perfectionist came forward and was extremely focused, extremely determined. And one of the things that it took me years to realize is because of this hyper-determined, hyper-focused, forceful young being that I was burnt out by the time I finished high school, because the effort it takes to get into college, and for me it had to be the best, can be very exhausting. And I also didn't have the resources for tutors or to really even, I didn't have a lot of support even with my college essays or applications. And so I was really manifesting it on my own, and I was grinding. By the time I got to college, I was completely burnt out. And so I just kind of like hobbled my way through the next 4 years. Bless that younger me. And I just kept repeating these patterns of burnout, you know, and I kept repeating patterns of, I would get a little bit of energy, I would make a goal, I would throw myself at it, I would burn out, and I would get resentful, and I would get cynical, and I would just get fed up. And I don't know how many times I wanted to leave school. I don't know how many times I wanted to take a break, but I never did. And this forcing, it wasn't that I wanted to burn myself out. This was the best way I knew how. This was the only way I knew how. You just go as hard as you can. And I don't think I'm alone in that way of going. There starts to be a romanticism that creeps in around like, yeah, I have to drink coffee in the morning just to like get up and go. I was so tired, but I still did the all-nighter. There's this romanticism that can really start to creep in. And I have to name and say that when we are treating ourselves like crap, sometimes it can be very easy to start telling ourselves stories about like, yeah, like the body denial, the heart denial, the emotion denial, the feeling denial, like it's all like I'm so badass, you know? And this just kind of continues on and on and on, and we're just like in this cycle over and over again. And I got to a point in my life where, you know, I had been making the shift into the spiritual practices for a while. For at least, you know, I started my spiritual business in 2017. So I've been making the shift for a while. But when I went into my spiritual practice, my spiritual business, I was still going in that forceful way. Okay, here's my goal. Here's how much I want to make. Here's how many Instagram followers I want. Okay, you know, and just forcing. And that really, you know, fell flat on its face. I got totally burnt out in a deeper way, in a much deeper way, in the deepest way I'd ever experienced. I really could barely do anything for a long time, and it took me years to really recover. And I really got fed up. I just got so tired of the constant burnout. I knew that I had to do something different in order to actually sustain the life that I wanted. So that's like the other thing about burnout, right? It's like, shit, like I'm too exhausted to do what I want to do. I'm too exhausted to build toward that life of my dreams. And so in order for us to be powerful manifestors, we have to come out of the burnout cycle. It's just not going to work. And as we as a collective become more sensitive, more connected, more tapped in, the hyper forceful, the word comes to mind of like bro ways of doing things, of manifesting, are going to become more exhausting. And so it's really important to make a transition. And the transition for me really took a lot of time. It took a lot of surrender. And yes, there was effort. Like it was a different way of working. And so much of the work for me was to stop doing, to stop moving from fear, to stop moving from lack, and to actually allow the universe to show up for me. The work for me was to give over my will, to align my will with the will of the divine and say, okay, you guide me, I'll wait. And that was really difficult. It was so difficult to wait because the fear just kind of bubbles up. You're waiting, and then the demons come, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna make the ends meet. I'm not gonna do the things I need to do. I'm not worthy. I'm like, all these things bubble up in that waiting. And yet the waiting is so important. important because it allows you to heal. It allows you to clear the blocks, to clear the obstacles, and it allows you to get ready for the divine to come into your life and create with you. And in terms of really making that shift, for me, the first step was to get more into my body, to respect my body more, to respect my cycles, to respect my need for rest and release, to practice, to make a practice of rest. If you're like me, you might need to make a practice of rest. You might need to make a practice of play. And so the first was to really get into my body, and that's really actually why I became a yoga teacher, because I started to do yoga, I fell in love, I decided to do a teacher training. And so the coming into the body was the foundation for me to realize and recognize how I was actually feeling, because I had spent so much time up here. But suddenly, like, my belly is talking to me, my heart is talking to me. And so coming into the body is a huge first step. Learning to, developing that intuition, listening to that little voice, that little nudge, that little feeling, and really honoring it. And I think that if you have been in a burnout cycle, one of the reasons why is because you are skilled at ignoring your intuition. You're skilled at pushing away messages that say, you need to rest, you're tired, this isn't working, your heart isn't in it. And you're really good at actually like hearing those messages or hearing like the hint and just like pushing them away, pushing them away, pushing them away. So if you are in a burnout cycle, you have healing to do with your own intuition. And it's going to take time for you to really dial in to what that intuition is saying, because you've been pushing it away maybe for years. For me, it was basically my whole life until I really stopped and started to honor that intuition, started to say, oh, okay, I think I'm getting that message to rest, I'm gonna rest. And now I'm at a point in my life where I don't question that message of rest, I just rest. And that's beautiful and so helpful. So those are the two things that I think are a really great start, is just to come into the body and to trust your intuition, listen to those messages, and know that they are there, they're coming. Whether you are able to recognize them might take practice, 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 practice. I think now more than ever, we have so many dreams. We want to create. Jupiter's in Aries. We just want the want. And it is so essential that while we are in this fiery dragon time, this expansive 2022, that we are really taking the time to move away from the grind, hustle, self-denial toward, yes, I'm creating a business that centers my joy, ease, peace, and pleasure. I'm creating a business where I work the least and make the most, right? I'm creating love and relationship that is incredibly nourishing and sexy. My community adores me. My community shows up for me. People randomly show up to my house with gorgeous platters of food, ready to make sure that I am a nourished member of the community. Call it in, call it in. So this full moon is so much about the power of manifestation. When we manifest with Venus, because Venus is trine Saturn this lunation. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So this is all about the ways that when Venus and Saturn get along, the key to manifestation is to be sweet, to get wet, to get juicy. Does it turn you on? Does it make you want more? Does it excite you in that low belly, sacral area? If not, it's just not aligned right now. Because right now it's all about Venus. Is it beautiful? Does it make you feel beautiful? All about that, right? You want to get into that vibration of the universe flirting with you. Goddess is flirting with you. Your money flirting with you. Whatever it is you want to manifest, it needs to be centered in pleasure and joy, right? And so I highly recommend, it's a powerful time. And I've been talking a lot about this on my Patreon with my heart family. Mantra. Mantra is so powerful. It helps us to create new realities. So if you feel like you were stuck in any sort of kind of pattern, if you are ready to call in that pleasure, call in that joy, I really hope you are, because it's time past due. To call in that pleasure, call in that joy, call in that peace, call in that rest. If you are ready for that, begin to start speaking it, begin to speak it and speak it and speak it. And if you need more guidance on mantra, I am basically running like a manifestation accelerator on my Patreon with my heart family. And every week I'm putting out a recording about the steps of manifestation, because manifestation does not need to be a mystery. It does not need to be a mystery. We can break it down and get very clear. So if you are interested in getting more into mantra, but in a broader way, getting more into manifestation, because there is a mantra, which is a good start, but there is so much more to put in, okay? My nails are green for a reason. We're manifesting. In this moment, my nails are working for me, right? So there are so many more ways to amplify the mantra, right? And there's also a gift and an art to creating a mantra. So I really want to encourage you to head over to my heart family if you are ready to dive into mantra work, if you are feeling that clear, like, yes, I could use more pleasure in my life. Yes, I could use better sex. I really could, right? I could use delicious food all around me at all times. I could use that luxury vacation. I really do want to be on a yacht, right? Oh yeah, running my business could be so easy. My justice work, my organizing, my showing up for other people could be held and met and loved. Do you feel that? Do you feel that it is time for you to call in more ease and pleasure into your life without apology? Your desires are sacred. Your desires are sacred. Your desires are sacred. Don't doubt them. Don't push them away. Welcome them. Welcome them. Welcome them. Love them. Say yes. My desires are sacred. I mean, say it. My desires are sacred. You desire $1 million bajillion? Sacred. So sacred, right? Whatever it is for you, allow it to be sacred. Don't be guilty. Don't feel guilt for what you want. And know that that feeling of guilt it's resistance, and it's that place of where mantra could come in and help you move that block, move that obstacle. Why do you feel guilty about wanting financial security and abundance? You deserve it. Why do you feel like you don't deserve a lover that shows up at your doorstep with flowers and gifts and rubs your feet, if that's your thing, loves you, cooks for you, takes care of you? Why don't you feel you deserve a co-parent who is showing up for you and making sure that you get your naps and you get your rest? All of this is yours. And I think that's another really important thing. And the last thing I will bring forward is that you need to know that all that you are attempting to manifest already exists. That's super important. And you need to take time to really feel that you, which knows and has the dream life. And feel that in your body, right? So we can take a second right now to just imagine the you that has all the dreams, that has the life, that has the lover, that has the abundance, that has the business, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, that has the amazing family. Just bring that self forward. How do they look? What are they wearing? Where are they? How do they feel? This is you. This feeling you are feeling right now is you right now. And that is really important when you do your manifestation work. You are that which you seek. And the power of mantra is that by the millionth time you repeat it, you know it. Oh, I really am luxury and abundance. Because by the time it's been repeated a million times, all of your cells, all of your brain, all of your energy body is just radiating and tingling on that vibration because you've been speaking it in over and over and over and over again. You are that. And that's really important. That is it for me. I hope you have an incredible, sexy, gorgeous full moon in Capricorn. I hope that you manifest, really. Manifest with ease. Manifest in this goddess way of, I said what I wanted and all I have to do is wait. Because the universe will show up. I pray and I wish that you are no longer in cycles of burnout, that you no longer feel like you have to force your way through life, because no, you do not. That is not true. Not necessary, not efficient. I pray that you have so much pleasure and joy in your life as the full moon illuminates the sky and over the next few weeks as we bring close to Cancer season and the Cancer new moon cycle. And thank you so much. Don't forget, if you are wanting to deepen in your mantra practice, manifestation practice, come join me on Patreon. Come be a member of my heart family and just be held in a deeper container of love and intention. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful full moon. Bye.